Daisy here again with another layout for Shimmerz paints, and today I'm using quite a few different paints, but I am doing I'm using this cut file here. This is from Confessions of a Paper Addict, and it is a bird wreath, and I absolutely love birds. So when spring hits, that is like my first thing I'm looking for is the robins and all of the birds coming back. I love watching the birds at the bird feeder outside my window. And so what I am doing is I am going to be painting the birds that are in this wreath as similar to the birds that I see at my house. So right now I am working with some yellows because I have some yellow chickadees that hang out. They're not here as often as some of the other birds, but yeah, I absolutely love them. They're so bright and fun. And now I am working on just the regular sparrow. I don't know the technical names for all these birds, but yeah. So I'm just trying to kind of, make it look like a sparrow. This one here, I think, is gonna be my robin. And I'm going to do 2 of each kind of bird. And I'm starting with the lighter colors and then layering them up just to try to make it so that I don't have to wash my paintbrush quite as much because I'm kind of, lazy like that. But also it makes it easier to see where things are going to end up when they blend together a little bit. And then I can mix, try to blend them together some more if I need to. Because I don't like all those harsh lines, so I'm going to add a little bit to make it seem a little less severe. But I'm definitely working on my robins and my sparrows there. And now I'm going to work on the blue jays. So we don't always have blue jays. I don't know. It seems like every other year we seem to get the blue jays. They must be nesting somewhere else occasionally, but sometimes they make their way towards us. So I'm using, I suppose you want to know the colors I'm using here. So the blues that I'm using right now I'm using the ultramarine, which is that really bright blue. The other one that I used is actually, I think I just used the gray, which is the concrete, which is a Shimmerz. And then this darker blue that I'm adding, that's a mist, that's a sapphire. And I like the way those 3 shades really kind of blend together. Now I'm not doing shadows like you would if the sun was out or something and, doing that kind of shading. I'm just kind of shading them based on like the colors of their feathers. Now I am using, I think this is Buddy's favorite color, which is red, and I'm creating my cardinals. And I'm going to use a combination of the Buddy's favorite color and also the red necking, which is the creamies. And the combination of those two, actually that might have been what I used first. Nope, this one's the red necking. And yeah, I just really like that combination. The yellows that I used were Bumblebee Bee and No Yoking. And the browns that I used were So Saply and Coffee is the dark one. I think the one I'm using now is also So Saply. It's like this really nice kind of brown, but it almost has like a peach tone to it. And so the birds I was coloring there are the female cardinals, so they're more brown and then they have like red kind of undertones. So I'm trying to make that happen, but it doesn't turn out exactly the way I pictured it. I thought I could use this going peach side, and that doesn't end up quite giving me the color that I'm looking for. So then I thought if I made it darker that it would work out a little bit better. So I'm adding some of that coffee, which is original Shimmerz, except for mine is dried out. So if you saw me adding water to it, that kind of extends the life of my paints, as I will just add water to it if they dry out a little bit. Now I am working on the think it's another, it's just a black and white little sparrow, or I think that's what it is a sparrow, but it's just black and white, and it's darker on the top and then it fades to a white belly. So I'm using that Shimmerz, which is concrete, and then I'm also using this black one, which is Night Moves. And once this is done, I'm really pleased with the way it turns out. So you see me just kind of lightly dabbing things. Because of the other layer of paint, it's gonna, eventually kind of work its way down. So I don't want to go too heavy with it. Here I'm finishing off those yellow birds. I wanted to make sure that the yellow paint was almost dry because I didn't want it to suck up all of the black color. And I'm just adding some little details here. Some of them you're not going to end up seeing on the finished product because there is like an overlay for this cut file, but I thought I would just leave it in anyway. And then I realized that my paint was kind of pooling on that one bird and was trying to figure out how I was going to fix that. But so to add the red to the female cardinals, I pulled out the Scarlet's Fever, which is a spritz, and I added that, I think it's a spritz. It's one of the mists. And I added that. And then there is the kind of finished product after I added the top to that cut file. So I'm not going to add any eyes. I'm not coloring the beaks or the feet in, just because I thought that would be too much. But I really love how those birds turned out. So now I'm working on my background, and I wanted to do like a blue sky kind of wreath shape. So I'm using 3 different mists here. This first one I'm using is called Frostbite, and then this one is the Rip Van Periwinkle, which I absolutely love this color. It's almost a purple, but not quite. It's definitely a blue color. And I just think it's gorgeous. So I'm painting it down. I'm kind of using the side of my paintbrush and rolling it, and that's how I get the watercolor look. I can't just paint on the way other people do. I don't know. It doesn't look right to me. So if I kind of roll it around the way I am here, then I like the way it looks better. So and then that sapphire was a little too dark, so I'm going to come in with some more of that Rip Van Periwinkle and try to lighten it up a little bit. And I really like how that turned out. So that background paper I did gesso. I didn't gesso the birds because I had cut that cut file out previously and didn't know what I was going to use it for, and then I thought it'd be perfect for this. So I set my background off to the side to dry, and I'm just getting my photo ready, and it's just a really pretty photo of it's actually an empty bird nest that I took a few days ago, but the sun's rising in the background and there's like branches and everything. I just think it looked really pretty. So I'm going to stick it down to this bag here, and this is like one of those paper like party favor bags. And I get them a lot with orders, so I thought that I would use it as a background, and it was like the perfect color and just a simple layer that I could put behind here. I was playing around with that vellum bird that I think is from a Maggie Holmes collection, but it doesn't end up on my layout because I thought that would just be too many birds, so I don't end up using that. And I don't know what I went to do here. Oh, I was pulling out some thickers. So originally I was going to stamp my title onto the background, but then I was doubting. I thought maybe the stamp wouldn't turn out right because of the gesso, and I didn't want to like mess up the background, so I decided not to do that. I'm going to end up using some thickers, but I do want to add a border around the outside of my layout. So I'm going to cut about an inch off. So there's going to end up being a 1/2 inch on all of the sides. And I'm doing that because, well, it just makes it easier if I cut like an inch off of 2 sides. And when my painted wreath ended up being a little skewed to one side, so it made it easier to do it that way. And that paper that I'm using is from, I think from the Paige Evans new collection, Wonders, I believe. And it's just a pretty floral with blues and some pinks and yellows. And I thought it was just perfect for a spring layout. And so I'm adding this double-sided tape, and then I'm going to stick down my background. It is a tiny bit warped, but not too bad, and I end up putting a paper pad on it afterwards to really flatten it out. I find that that works out the best, so I'm just trying to decide where I want to put my photo here. Because I didn't want to cover up any of the birds. Because I love how they turned out. They just look so much fun, and they look a lot like the real birds. So like the coloring turned out exactly how I had pictured in my head, which never happens. So I'm super happy with that. Now I had this great idea. So I wanted to add some baker's twine behind the cut file in like little tangled messes and stuff, and have it popping out. Okay. Yeah, this is struggle city. I'm not gonna lie. I really struggled with this. So I do end up, I'm gonna cut the camera here because I'm gonna start getting it all set up and then go to glue it down, and the whole thing's gonna pop up, and it's just gonna, yeah, super frustrating. So I do it off camera so you don't have to watch the whole struggle. But you can see this is not exactly working out the way I thought it was going to. I thought it would be simple. It's really not at all. Not even a little bit. I love the way this looks, but then, yeah, I'm gonna lift this up and some of the glue's gonna stick and it's gonna pull, yeah. So there we go. That's what we ended up with. It's not perfect because I just kind of gave up and left it with what it was. But I wanted that extra kind of added texture to the background, so I'm glad I stuck with it because I do like the way it looks. So I pulled out these thickers, which are from one of the Heidi Swap papers, or not papers, collections, I believe. They're called Paperwork. Was it Heidi Swap? Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, I'm going to pull out the letters and spell out tweet here. And I'm just going to add to... First, I'm going to put down these sequins. And these are from Catherine Pooler Designs. And it's the Big Sur sequin mix, which is a bunch of blues and teals. So I'm going to stick those around. And then I'm going to pull out the little thickers from forever ago that are in navy blue that were from one of the Paige Evans collections, and add Sweet. So it's going to be Sweet Tweet is the title. And I thought it was just perfect for, you know, how I feel about my birds when they come back in the spring. So anyway, if you haven't already, you should head on over and join the Shimmerz Shares Facebook group. It's a great place to find all of the inspiration. There's also the Instagram account. I will have a link down below for the blog post for this layout, which will have links to all of the colors I used. And don't forget that the next time you place a purchase with Shimmerz, you can always drop my name in the comments for a fun little freebie to be added to your order. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye!